Thank you very much.
This is the four-man rush. Hello, Panther fans, and welcome to another podcast of the Four-Man Rush. I'm your host, Timmy V.O., here with Kevin and Will, and we're going to talk about a little bit of Senior Bowl, right? So we're going to touch on very, very prominent positions that we're looking at in the draft, obviously, and then we'll go into detail on some other positions, but we're going to cover each and every position for the most part. And we'll talk about players that, you know, people have been looking at, and players who our coaching staff down there has been touching with and communicating with, things of that nature. Now, it's not like last year, obviously. We haven't seen some of these guys play that much, and, you know, the practices were suspect for the most part. So we're just going to touch on the positions. And then next week after the Senior Bowl, we'll go more in depth and standouts and things of that nature. And all that good stuff, man. So we're talking about Senior Bowl. We're talking about hopefully some potential Panther players coming on board for us. And we're gonna break it down four-man rush style. Some football heads, buddy. Telling you. And by the way, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. Stop playing games. Please do that so you won't miss out. You get all them nice notifications when we drop a podcast and when we drop some in-depth breakdown on players and coaching personnel and front office personnel, all that good stuff, man, because the four-man rush is real, folks. If you want Panther football, this is where you want to come. Dig it? So hold on to your hats, folks. The four-man rush is on the scene. Will, we'll start with you, man. Go ahead and start with that QB position. I know there's a couple of singers that possibly could be on this roster next year, man. What do you see?
On the Matt Rule's team, I think there's three guys who could probably be in play for the Panthers on draft day, either day one or day two. Now, I know, the popular names right now is Deshaun Watson, which we talked about last week, Matthew Stafford, which I don't think is happening, but, you got to keep that possibility open as well. Everybody wants to hear about the top of the quarterback class, Lawrence, Fields, Lance, and Zach Wilson. But it's possibility that we don't make a trade for a vet and four quarterbacks go in the top seven, and when the Panthers aren't able to trade up to take one of the top four. So that's going to leave you with the guys that we're looking at this week at the Senior Bowl, which I think there's some talented guys there. It's Jamie Newman, Mac Jones, and injured, but was invited to the Senior Bowl, and I think he's there doing interviews, Kyle Trask. And these are all three guys are on Matt Rule's team. So these are the three I want to focus on today. I mean, we can get into the other guys maybe next week if they stand out during the week. But with me, while Mac Jones and Kyle Trask had those productive seasons, Jamie Newman, a sneaky guy coming in there who opted out this year at Georgia, he's going to come in and show out. I think he had a very good first day today. He was at Wake Forest actually before this year, and I think he transferred to Georgia, but then ended up opting out because of the COVID situation. So we didn't really get a good chance to look at him this year. But, you watch him in his clips today and his drills, the arm strength is there, the arm talent. He looks like the best quarterback on the field, according to most people that were there watching him live. And, I mean, he's got a lot of good snap on the ball, very good athleticism. So you're looking at a guy that has all the tools. So if you're talking about maybe day two or day three, even a second-round pick, keep an eye on Jamie Newman. I mean, he's got all the tools you want from a quarterback. Still needs a lot of development since he's missed an entire season, but he could be a good value pick later in the draft. Then you got Mac Jones. I mean, a lot of people are probably a lot more familiar with him because of the historic season he had at Alabama. Very smart quarterback, accurate, not the most athletic or the most arm talent, but in terms of just getting the ball to his playmakers, running the offense, being a leader, he displays all those traits, and I think he's another solid option in day two. It's a guy Matt Rule's very familiar with. He recruited him at both Temple and when he went to Baylor. There's a lot of familiarity there, and I think he'll get to know him very well this week. I mean, you look at him in the national championship. I mean, he went against Justin Fields head-to-head, and you saw what happened there, the kind of numbers he was able to put up. And I know with Mac Jones, a lot of people criticize him because of his supporting cast. I mean, it was the same supporting cast that Tua and Burrow had last year. I mean, they are surrounded with draft first, second round picks as well. So why not keep that same energy with them that you keep with Mac Jones? So I think he's another guy, you got to keep an eye out for that could possibly be picked on day 2. I know a lot of draft analysts think the media has undervalued him in comparison to actual teams. So it's possible he can maybe slip into the first round. So we'll see how that goes. And then Kyle Trask. I mean, he was putting up Joe Burrow numbers for most of this season. Now, granted, like Matt Jones, he had a lot of great weapons, which we'll get into later. One of my favorite prospects, Kadarius Toney and Kyle Pitts, who's also going to be in play as possibly a top 10, top 15 pick. But, I mean, Kyle Trask, again, productive. He improved a lot in terms of accuracy on short throws, gets the ball out quick, probably a little bit more athleticism than Mac Jones will give you. I think the concern with him when Pitts and Toney opted out of that final game, he had a very poor showing in his final game. So I think how's that going to linger over into the draft? Will his stock fall to day 2 possibly? So we'll see how it plays out. I'm excited to see what Mac Jones and Jamie Newman are able to do this week, and hopefully we'll have a more complete breakdown of their games and how they were able to perform next week.
Word. Oh man! All right, so great breakdown, bro. So let's talk about the people in front of these gentlemen, the O line. Kev, what you got? What you got on your radar, bud?
Yeah, well, what I got on my radar is I'll start off with the ones that's on Matt Rowe's team, the American team at the Senior Bowl. These are some guys that me and Larry have been looking at for a while now, and just. It's enough to make your mouth salivate. I'm gonna be honest. If you guys are like me, not caught up in quarterback craziness, but realize that you need an offensive line to protect whoever is quarterback, just some of us just had that logic. That might help a little bit. If you got a good line in front of you, just a suggestion. But yeah, just some names that stand out for me. One of the most, of course, everybody's looking at the tackle position. With the uncertainty if we're going to keep Taylor Moton, and with Russell Okung was in the last year of his deal, before he took the Bitcoin option and dipped. We have prospects like Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama, someone who has an NFL body. Needs some refinement with his leverage and with his hand placement. I mean, he has the tools. He's just got to use his tools the right way more consistently. But definitely someone that a lot of people were looking at. Anytime. I mean, anybody on Alabama's offensive line is going to catch your eye anyway. Speaking of eye candy, I think one of the most popular names that recently popped out, especially since the college playoffs, is Leatherwood's partner in crime at left guard, which is Mr. Deontay Brown. You're talking about a mountain of a man. I mean, you're talking about 6'3", 365 pounds.
Lord.
But this is 6'3" that can move. Like, don't let that weight fool you. This is someone that can get them legs moving, and he's that guy. When you get off the bus and you're trying to intimidate the other team, you want him to be the first one off the bus. He's that guy. That's that effect. Tim, you know about that coming out them high school days, boy. Like,
oh hell yeah. you be out there sitting outside the locker room watching them come in. Like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, whose guy's that? Yeah, he's that effect. But don't let the 364 make you think that he's not athletic or slow-footed. I mean, this is someone with great foot quickness. He dominates whoever he's in front of. This is the guy, and Will, I think you pointed out to me. This was the guy that, if I'm not mistaken, kept Derek Brown in check last year.
Oh yeah.
When Alabama and Auburn went at it. So, my God, if we can ever get a reunion, boy, you talking about iron sharpening iron. I mean, this would be the one. I mean, this draft is really loaded at this interior line position, and Mr. Deontay Brown is someone that's definitely want to be looking out here for. A couple other guys, real quick, to mention on the offensive line to look out for. I'm gonna mention someone from a small school here, Grambling State, David Moore. And for those of us that remember Trenton Scott, the one who came in, filled in for when Akun got hurt and with Greg Little, pissed the bed. This was number 73 for the Panthers. Well, this is one of his teammates, David Moore. He's a guard, and folks, when I say plays nasty, like you done talked about his mama all week long, and now he's pissed. Like this, if you want nasty on your offensive line, this is someone to be looking at. I mean, this is a young man who's ranked pretty highly up here. He's considered one of the top 10 interior linemen with this incoming draft class. Matter of fact, he's right at number 10. We're talking about 6'2", 350. So a pretty solid boy here. He got decent athleticism. Don't let the fact that he went to Grambling make you think that he's some pushover. I mean, he's someone that plays hard to the whistle, and he's always looking for work. So once you take care of he's got his head on swivel. He's looking for more. So David Moore is another guy to be paying attention to. That's on the Matt Rule squad. And finally, another offensive lineman for people to keep in mind here. I'm looking at someone, depending on how the pick fall, like a day 3 person look at here. I'm looking at Alaric Jackson out of Iowa. This is someone who has the body and the frame, but he needs to have some more discipline. I'm gonna be one of the first ones to tell you that when he's disciplined, he could have easily been a late day 1, early day 2 pick, but because of the inconsistency, which I think is coachable, I think he's a player that could be a steal in the later rounds. We're talking about 6'6", 320 pounds. Very solid guy. He has the ability to play both tackle and guard, so that position flexibility. One thing I do notice, he is a little tight in his hips, but he's someone, and Tim, heard this term plenty of times, that boy country strong.
Country strong.
Country strong. SKRONG. Strong.
Indeed.
So when it's a guy like this, when it's 4th and 1, this the guy to get behind, because in the running game, dude has no problem moving you out the way. So again, this is someone that's looking like a day 3 pick that, depending on what positions we draft before, this is someone that to definitely be on the lookout for. So these are the offensive linemen on Matt Rule's team, on the national team that stand out to me, that I definitely think will be prospects we'll be speaking about this remaining off season.
Woo! Excitement. Y'all making sure you watch your Senior Bowl and check out what Kevin Will's dropping on you, man. Do your homework on that shit, right? Will, let's talk about some skill positions. Running back, wide receiver, maybe even.
Yeah, before we do that, Kev, what do you think of Trey Smith from Tennessee? I know people are high on him as one of the top guards in this class.
Yeah, I mean, Trey Smith. Trey Smith was the guy, and he's done nothing to dismiss it. I think people just were enamored with Deontay Brown at left guard. They forgot that Trey Smith has the more consistent resume. We're talking about, again, 6'6", 330. I mean,
that's a big boy. Lord Jesus.
And when I say ideal technician, he's the type of player that is going to be a day 1 starter. This has perennial Pro Bowl, all-pro expectations of him. We're talking about someone that is solid fundamentally. His hand and eye coordination, like when you notice when he pull blocks, when he double teams get to the second level, I mean, is pretty much like textbook. He would be the type of player that if you want to teach your son how to be an offensive lineman, like his fundamentals and his technique are pretty much, pristine. I mean, he not only does he has the size, he has the technique, and he's just a player that easily is going to be a day one starter. Probably is projected around a second round pick. There's really no way if we went offensive line, particularly interior, within the first 3 rounds to really miss. Here is just that deep and talented. But Trey Smith is someone who would definitely make Panther fans extremely proud of who's to get him.
Special.
And he went to Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah. So about the skill players, to me, I mean, and Kev my witness. I mean, Kadarius Toney is a guy I've been high on years. I mean, before he was even draft eligible, I've had my eye on this guy. Like last year is when I saw him last year before this season, he wasn't as polished a route runner yet, but you just saw the explosive playmaking ability he has. The guy can cut at full speed, change direction. And it's like his ACLs are made of rubber bands. I mean, he can, man, the kind of cuts he makes, I mean, at full speed at that, in a way he was able to make plays with the ball in his hands. His junior year, Florida was using him more for like jet sweeps and screens, kind of as a gadget player. And every time he touched the ball, there's something explosive happening. I think he got hurt, so he didn't really finish the season, but I just saw the traits last year. He wasn't really a fully developed receiver, but I saw the traits. So now we get an offseason. He's improving, getting better at his craft. We start this season. He comes in. He's a complete receiver now. He's a complete route runner, going through the small things. I mean, winning at his release, exploding out of his cuts. He had great hands, still explosive in the open field. You just saw that much development in 1 year. I think he pretty much went from like a day 2, day 3 guy entering the season. I just saw Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft that had him going in the first round. So, I mean, I would love, if we don't get Curtis Samuel back, a guy, Kadarius Toney will definitely be a guy that I wouldn't mind taking in round 2 if he's there, because he'll just add that much more explosiveness and playmaking ability to our roster. So I'm going to claim that one. I had my eye on Kadarius Toney long before he was even mentioned as a top draft prospect like he is now. But more realistically for the Panthers, I don't think, Toney probably won't be on the board when they start thinking about receivers. Let's go with a local guy, Trey Smith from South Carolina. He showed out today. I mean, if you watch the Gamecocks games, he was just so dominant. Not in terms of dominating the opponent, but he just dominated the number of touches that the Gamecocks gave him. And he's just able to get open very easily, explodes out of his cuts, runs good routes, very good at the release, gets a lot of separation, fantastic hands. I think he made the best catch today at the Senior Bowl in one-on-one drills. So, again, you're talking about, what are we going to be at the receiver position next year? Curtis Samuel's likely going to walk. So you're down to DJ Robbie. You're going to need a slot guy who can come in there, get separation on those third downs and move the sticks. You look at a guy like Trey Smith that can be able to fit that role. Another local kid who I think people are very familiar with, Clemson's Amari Rogers. I looked at him as more of like a gadget player type, jet sweeps and screens. He was injured, I think, either last year or this year. One of the Clemson fans can help me out with that one. But when he has the ball in his hands, again, a guy that can show that playmaking ability and ability to get yards after the catch. So that's another guy I have my eye on at the receiver position. As far as running backs, my favorite position, I'm looking at a guy on the national team, Khalil Herbert from Virginia Tech. I believe he went to the same high school. Oh, he's not even on the roster, is he? Yes, he is right there. Yeah, I'll get to my other guys in a minute. But Khalil Herbert, he went to the same high school as Patrick Surtain and Brian Burns. I mean, he's got very good top-end speed, very productive last year. Good job making guys miss, good contact balance. Definitely a guy I have my eye on this week. Naji Harris is the best running back in this draft. I just did my scouting report breakdown on him. I see him as a feature back in an offense, day one starter, potential Pro Bowler. I mean, the guy's just got great contact balance, great vision. He's a complete back, can catch the ball out of the backfield. Never going to let the first guy tackle him, makes guys miss, very good feet, short area quickness. And I just like how he sets up his blocks. And once he sets his blocks up, he can explode in and out of cuts. So just a very fantastic player. I thought he had an excellent season at Alabama. It just got overshadowed because of how productive Devonta Smith and Mac Jones were for that Alabama offense. Michael Carter, Kevin knows him, the Tar Heels running back. Thought he's a very strong runner. Had a very good year as well for the North Carolina. I mean, they had a very good 1-2 punch at Carolina this year, and Michael Carter was a part of that. So that's another guy I'm looking forward to at the skill positions. And lastly, I know y'all want to hear about Wake Forest Sage Serrat, because he's part of the brothers. His brother's a linebacker at North Carolina. But, I can't go on without mentioning Devonta Smith, the Heisman Trophy winning wide receiver from Alabama. Look at him. It reminds me so much for y'all old heads, Marvin Harrison, just that slim frame, ability to get separation, great hands, and make plays after the catch. The route runnings there, consistently get separation, always open. And then the way Alabama was able to continuously get the ball in his hands a variety of ways, just overall just a very good, well-rounded, complete wide receiver. Some may be concerned about his frame. I not so much in my case. I mean, you've seen guys like Deshaun Jackson and the guy I just mentioned, Marvin Harrison, slim frame wide receivers that go on to have long, very productive careers. That's right. So that's where I'm at with the skill position players. And there's a lot of other guys, we'll get to, like I said, next week as we watch more practices and see how they perform throughout the week.
I know, man. Outstanding breakdown. Told you, folks. We own it. We own it, damn it. Kev, I guess we're gonna touch on the did you touch on the tackles too, or just interior linemen?
No, I had spoke on both. I just went ahead and got tackles and the interior linemen.
Yeah, so you want to hop on that D line?
Yeah, I can jump on it here because it's quite interesting. This will be the draft to make a strength even stronger if that's the way we choose to go. I learned a long time ago, you never can have too many bullets in the clip,
I mean, that's the truth.
Because, you always just one injury away from being down to the back end here. So, as we've all seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as I look at the defense line, I mean, with both teams, I mean, there's some gamers here. I know we have Derek Brown, Bravon Roy, obviously Brian Burns, and Util Gross-Matos as our starters, and key reserves, like F.A. Obata and Marquise Haynes. But, if we ever decide to, add a couple more, so to get that good depth and get that rotation, there's some players on both sides that'll definitely fit the bill here. Starting off with, let me make sure I had it on the national team here, as far as the defensive line. Someone that really stands out for me is, and forgive me for murdering these names because I've seen their play, but these last names, Lord help me. I'm going to have to buy some vowels here. But one guy that stands out here for me was from the University of Washington. His name is Levi. Last name is Onwuzurike. Onwzurike for those following along who want to look him up. Whew. Okay.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, it is what it is. So we're talking about 6'3", 290, played in the Pac-12 at the University of Washington here. This is someone that's, since we're playing a lot of four-man front, he's definitely someone that can play either tackle position. One thing that stands about him, what Matt Rule say, he wants players that can play, that are fast and athletic. Well, at defense line, this guy would definitely fit the bill in that mode. His overall athleticism, I think he's going to really surprise some people when he does goes to the combine here. I really see that as something that's going to blow people away. But he's someone that you try to single block him, it's not a good idea. He's very well disciplined, has great technique. He believes in maintaining leverage and gap control. One of the things that, and y'all heard us when we do our game breakdown, when we done got gassed on the run, what we say, someone gap integrity was lost. This is a player that already has the discipline shown in college to maintaining his gap. If you single block him, you're going to be in for a long day. So what you going to do? Single block Derrick Brown? Okay. All right. Cool. That'll work.
That.
Yeah. Choose wisely. That's all I can tell you. So, but yeah, this is definitely a player that 6'3", about 290. So he's not quote unquote the biggest defensive tackle, but hell, when you look at the most dominant defensive tackle of our generation, Aaron Rodgers, he's about what, 280, 285. So, don't think that a dominant defense lineman got to be 320 pounds to be an enforcer, folks. This guy right here is definitely someone who would be add that juice to go alongside Mr. Derrick Brown. Another player to look out for here that's on the senior squad. Gonna go down to good old Notre Dame, for your Irish fans here. It's a gentleman on the line here by name of Dalen Hayes. And he's someone that when you put on the film, the motor runs hot. I mean, I maybe seen him maybe take off a half a play, Tim. I mean, this is someone that's
entire season.
Like, if he took it off, I haven't came across it yet. I'll put it to you like that.
Wow.
But he's someone that definitely just plays with a hot motor, and he's just tracking plays down. I mean, we're talking about 6'4", 261, so a little bit on the smaller side, but with the current trend for defensive ends, he's prototypical. Think about Mario Addison 2.0.
Interesting.
Because he's someone that when I looked at the background on him, he came on the campus under 200 pounds.
Wow.
Since eating there at Notre Dame, he's put on about 70 to 80 pounds over 4 years. So he's really built up his body.
Woo.
Here, and he's someone that's got the flexibility. He can put his hand in the dirt. He can stand up. He's someone that really knows how to anchor the line as well. Now, he did have a shoulder injury after 4 games in 2019. So there is a little bit of injury history that goes there, but physically he got all the tools to just really set the edge here and just make it difficult for offensive linemen to move him out of spot. A reason why he's only 260. Again, he plays with great leverage. Playing with leverage and the ability to shed blocks will go a long way when you're setting the edge. So he's someone to be looking out for. Now I'm gonna flip it over real quick to the a defense lineman on the other side on the that was on the national team. This is on the American team, the one with Matt Rule coaching. Defense lineman there. Since we was talking about local schools, talking about Carlos Basham Jr. out of Wake Forest. This is someone who is 6'3", 281. So when you think of him, again, he doesn't have that, quote, prototypical big build that you're looking for. But he's someone that produces, folks. We're talking about 33 and a half tackles for losses, 19 and a half sacks, 7 forced fumbles. He is someone that is, you don't block him properly, he's going to make you pay. He's someone that just has a variety of pass rush moves. He knows how to convert speed to power. One thing he gets that kind of stuck out to me a little bit, he get that good bend. You know how Brian Burns is able to get that low bend and get up underneath and turn it up? This is someone else that gets a similar kind of bend. Not on the Brian Burns level, but low enough to where it stands out on film. So I just like the fact that he has a variety of moves that allow him to give offensive tackles fits. So these are just some defensive linemen that's on the Senior Bowl that's really stood out to me.
Word. Man, bruh. Y'all make sure you watch this Senior Bowl. Man, got my damn mouth watering and shit, man. I can't wait to watch this shit. Oh, man. So, hey, Will, you want to touch on the defensive backs a little bit? And Kevin, we'll swing back to you for the linebacker core.
Sure. There's a couple guys from small schools that I want to talk about first. Start with Robert Rochelle from Central Arkansas. Very athletic guy. He was clocked at 4.38, I think, at his school. They're not going to do they're going to do the combines a little bit differently, so I don't know how much of an athletic profile we'll be able to get on him. But you see him on the field. He's got that long speed and athleticism. Very raw technique-wise. He could get better in press coverage. But, I mean, he's a playmaker on the ball. He was very productive. He had, I believe, 4 picks, 10 pass breakups, something like that. Before, and the season before last. So, I mean, this is a guy, we're not able to get a Patrick Surtain or a Caleb Fairley in round 1. You know how Matt Rule and his staff likes to go with those athletes with upside potential later in the draft. So look out for a guy like Robert Rochelle, who I think was going to kill it at his combine or his pro day, however they do it. A good game to watch with him was against Trey Lance's showcase. That defense, that Central Arkansas defense, really gave Lance a hard time that game. Another guy I'm going to talk about is from North Carolina Central, the Mideastern Athletic Conference, the MEAC. His name is Brian Mills. He got a Senior Bowl invite out of the HBCU. He's listed as one of the top HBCU prospects this year by NFL Draft Diamonds. Great Twitter account to follow if you haven't already. I mean, I believe he made FCS, either first team or second team All-American, and he was first team All-MEAC as a defensive back. I think, what else? Yeah, his junior year, because the MEAC, I believe their season was canceled this past year. So we got to really look at what he did his junior year. And I think that's when he was most productive. I mean, he had 22 tackles that year. He started every game. I mean, he had 5 interceptions, so he made plays on the ball. So I want to really see how he plays this week against Division I. Well, I won't say Division I because the MEAC's still that, but FBS players, like see how he does in these one-on-ones against some of these top receivers. That's another guy I'm going to have my eye on at the cornerback position. The safety, and, excuse me for pronouncing his name, Hamza Nasiruddin from Florida State. Probably one of the most versatile players in the draft. He can play single high safety in the box. He can play linebacker. They lined him up all over the field. He's got a very good athlete, good size. I mean, I think he's 6'4", 212 pounds. So I think with that versatility and physical gifts, again, the kind of guys Phil Snow likes on that side of the ball. How would he be lined up with a Jeremy Chin or a, Sam Franklin, who has that kind of skill set as well? So that's another guy I want to look at as well. And also, I mean, he's physical, man. He can hit. So, maybe this is another guy they look at later in the draft, depending on where they go. Now, he did have an ACL tear. So we'll see how that affects his draft stock. But if he's a guy that's on the board, later in one of these rounds, don't be surprised to see him get his name called.
Word. Hey, man. Hey, we still need help as a secondary position, folks. Don't trip. We still need help. I'm just saying. Kev, what about them linebackers, man?
Them backers? Is that what you're talking about?
Man, we need them backers now.
We need to move on from this post-Tahir White era, right?
Oh, bless you.
Tahir Whitehead.
All of a sudden, he can catch a football at the end of the year. What's that all about? I don't know.
I guess sitting a pound for weeks to help your hands get right. I don't know.
Ooh.
Anyway. Did I ain't do that? My bad.
Urkel reference. What?
Yeah. So, as far as linebackers go, I think this is a position that as Panther fans that we are definitely looking at. I know a lot of popular names such as that's out there. One of the most popular ones is on the national team. That's I got a shout out because it's my school. My boy Chaz Serrat. He's someone that has definitely caught the eye. He was someone who flirted with coming out last year and decided to stay, and I'm glad that he did because my Tar Heels definitely needed him. But with Chaz Serrat, I mean, we're talking about someone that you could plug in. Now, I'm gonna keep it real with you folks because that's how we do here. I know that it said that we need like a true Mike linebacker, and this is something that Chaz Serrat is not exactly built for, but what he would be is that, with the NFL playing so much nickel, he would definitely be someone that you could pair with the Shaq Thompson that can finally provide that man coverage on running backs and tight ends. We're talking about 6'2", about 230 pounds. Was a former quarterback at North Carolina, actually, just give you a little backdrop on him. But he was able to make the transition, and boy, did he rack up numbers. So he earned first team all ACC, was runner up for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, he was just someone that had, in addition to 88 tackles, he had 15 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks, 10 quarterback hurries. He was able to drop back in coverage, make pass deflections. I mean, this is just somebody that is, if we ever in a base, he's definitely an outside linebacker here. So, unless Jermaine Carter want to, attempt to beat a Mike, this was someone that we used to take on here. Hey, I damn sure wouldn't mind because it'll be good to see a linebacker that can consistently play coverage. So that's Chaz Serrat. I think that's the one of the most popular linebacker name here at this draft. But other players to be on the lookout here for is a couple of guys from Ohio State, actually. That's
Ohio State.
The Ohio State. Thanks, Tim. The Ohio State.
Yeah, watch out for them Buckeye fans, man.
Right. I know a few. One of the ones that I've liked that I took notice to in a few games they did play this year because they ain't played but 6. But anyway, Baron Browning out of Ohio State. Now this is your prototypical Mike linebacker, 6'3", 242 pounds. Yeah. Now, they saying he could also play the will, or if in a 30 front, he would be like an inside linebacker. He's someone that, wherever you line him up at, he's going to produce for you. He's someone that has all the physical tools that you need. He has a great ability to shed blocks. If he got a defense line in front of him, he's really filling up that gap, and he reads his keys very well. This is someone that has a high football IQ, which is something that Panther fans were spoiled with for many years during the Luke Kuechly era. But this is definitely someone that can play the inside linebacker position, depending on what alignment that you're using at here. So he's definitely someone that to be on the lookout here. With this team at the Senior Bowl. So again, that's Baron Browning. Someone else to be on the lookout for is, what was his guy? I think he was on the other team. Let me flip it real quick here, because that was the national team. Let me go back to Matt Rule's team, the American team, and there you go, KJ Britt. So for all of you Auburn War Eagle fans here, KJ Britt at linebacker. He's considered a day 3 pick. So again, if we don't get one of the linebackers in the first day 1 or day 2, he is a day 3 pick that definitely is someone to be able to fill that inside role. Again, I'm just focusing more on guys that play Mike linebacker in the middle because that's what we need for this team. So KJ Britt in the Senior Bowl, we're talking about 6 foot 239. So you could view him as a little undersized for the position, but that doesn't stop him. He's very cerebral. He's known to be able to diagnose plays. He had one of the lowest missed tackle percentages in the country. So that's something that, we didn't have with the Tahir Whitehead era. So I like the fact that he's able to diagnose plays, attack the hole, and make the tackle. I just like the fact that he can also play man and zone coverage very effective as well. I think that his quote physical stature is the only reason why he's not drafted higher, because when you put the film on, when you watch the film, you see him everywhere. You see him all on the field, in the backfield, chasing plays down the sideline. Another guy with a high motor. I mean, he's tracking the ball when it's in the air. So he's someone that I definitely think would be someone to be on the lookout for in this Senior Bowl. Another player here I like that's a little raw per se, but has the tools. Tim, you're going to love this name. Paddy Fisher.
Paddy Fisher.
Paddy, like daddy, but with
Paddy.
a P.
Oh,
Paddy.
snap.
They calling him Paddy.
Oh, like a fish patty.
There you go.
Give me one of them salmon patties.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So for him, he went to Northwestern, 6'4", 240 pounds. Definitely, he's the guy that's one of them guys you want that muscular guy with the high shoulder neck pad coming off the bus. He's that guy.
Ooh, Mike Ditka type shit.
Right. Yeah. Starting defense, place at the table. He's.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, one thing about him, when he hits you, you're hit. This is someone who believes in imposing his physical presence on you. He was someone that caused a lot of forced fumbles. Even though, believe it or not, I don't know if Panther fans know this, but the Carolina Panthers led the NFL in most forced fumbles this year. So, talk about making something an additional strength. Again, this is someone that's projected to be a late round pick as of right now. We'll see how it goes between now and the draft. But he's someone that's he just dislodges the ball when he hits you. It's either you hurting or you trying to get the ball up. He's just someone that just makes them type of hits and impacts. He is good in zone coverage. Now, man coverage, he has the physical tools, but there's some work to be done there. But he's definitely a tone setter. He's that guy that makes that hit on the field that gets everybody like, ooh, he's that guy. He's that guy, So these are just some of the linebackers that stand out to me that I think is worth watching, that potentially could be someone that get on our radar. And I like the fact that our coaching staff will get a up close look. So, don't be surprised in a few months that some of the names we're mentioned on this episode might be rocking a uniform.
That's right, man. That's right.
You heard it here first. Exclusive.
You know what it is. Man, hey, I don't know about y'all folks, listeners. I don't know about y'all, Panther fans. I don't know about y'all. But there's gonna be some good things going on in this franchise, from here on out, man. These guys know how to find talent, and now we brought on our new GM who's also a late round digger. He finds them, bruh. It's beautiful. Either way we go in the scenarios and how we go about this draft, whether we trade back or we pick as they come. I'm extremely comfortable with these group of guys finding this talent, and folks, you should be extremely comfortable with a 4-man rush breaking it down for you. Like Kevin said, keep your eyes open. Watch that Senior Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Soak up some more football. So you can you can get your football fix out the way, so you don't have to watch Tom Brady. The man's a damn goat. Anyway. But yeah, folks, watch that Senior Bowl. It's Saturday at 2:00. I forget. It's sponsored by Reese's. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I think it's 2:00.
2:00. Yeah, man. Yeah, so y'all be sure to watch that, man. It's gonna be wow. Man, I can't wait, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be carried. Just so if y'all want to know, I'm looking it up here. It's going to be carried on the NFL Network. So for those that have access to it. It's scheduled to start at 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central. It is in Mobile, so Central Time. It'll start at 1:30 on this coming Saturday.
Word. There you go, folks. You know, a little break from basketball and watch some senior fellas go at it. You know, be good stuff. And be sure to listen to this podcast again before you start watching. You know, jot down your notes. You know, say calibrate your shit, folks. You can be like, damn, that's who they was talking about. Oh, that kid's good. Oh man, what? That's exactly how it's going to play out, folks. That's what happened last year with the 4-man rush, and it'll happen this year too. So, dig it, man. All right, so any parting shots, gentlemen?
Stop hating on Tom Brady, man.
Tell it.
Y'all some haters.
Tell it.
Don't you get tired of hating on the guy? He wins every year. He carried another team in another division in another conference to the Super Bowl, won 3 straight road games to get there.
Bruh.
I mean, what's left to hate on Tom Brady for, man?
At this point, y'all just looking really foolish.
Well, let me throw the monkey wrench in it. Now, he did come into the team that had the number 1 passing offense and a top 5 defense. So let's not say he completely carried. It's not like he took the Jaguars to the Super Bowl.
That's fair.
When you don't have 30 for 30 at quarterback position, it does a world of good.
Yeah. Well, when did Tom arrive in Tampa?
Well, I don't know, what was it, May, June, something like that.
I think he went down there early because he was the first quarterback to get signed. One of them. So I think he was down there early March. Didn't he get rent Tiger Woods' house or something out there?
Wow.
No, he got Derek Jeter's house.
Oh, that's what it was. I knew it was one of those famous guys.
Wow. So my man just left. He left New England, went to Florida. So yeah, I'll play for y'all. Just get me out there. I'll play for y'all. And now this motherfucker's in another Super Bowl.
Just threw a dart at the dartboard, landed on a team, and said, "Hey, you guys want a Super Bowl?"
What can Schwab do for you?
He been out throw 3 second-half picks against the Chiefs, boy.
Oh yeah.
You give Mahomes that many extra possessions,
bruh. That is one dude you do not want to give the football to.
You know what I do like though? The Bucks offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich, defensive coordinator Todd Bowles, and the Chiefs offensive coordinator is Eric Bieniemy. Yep. So you got 3 black coordinators coming into the Super Bowl. I think that's really good to see. Hopefully these guys will be considered for head coaching positions soon.
That's right. All former players, they put in their work, put in their hours, rising up the ladder, man. And who knows, man? Who knows? Hard work pays off, gentlemen. Kevin, go ahead.
As always, I always thank our 4-Man Rush fans that interact with us on social media. Especially how we be cutting up on Twitter.
Oh, Lord.
I blame Will for that. But yeah, just thank our fans, and like I say, we grind behind the scenes. When we drop our draft content, it's going to be the equivalent of dropping a nuke. I'm trying to tell you, like the level of information that we're doing on this is going to really, this going to get talked about.
Yeah, man.
We gonna have to watermark our shit because people gonna be biting.
Bro, they biting already. I see that.
Man,
I see y'all. I see y'all at the biting, bro. Let me stop. Go ahead, Kevin. Sorry.
Yeah, we're just gonna start putting some X-lax on our shit. You know what I'm saying? You bite, you gonna have the shits when you done.
Bubble
Bloop,
guts.
bloop, 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 bloop. But yeah, that's all I had.
Right on, man. Yeah, we appreciate you folks, man. Podcast listeners, whether you're social media platforms, man, wherever you engage in the 4-Man Rush crew, man, we really appreciate y'all. Straight up. And you know, you other Panther podcast folks out there, man, we appreciate y'all too. You know, it's nice to have something to compare ourselves to. Don't take it personal. Anyway, so whether you listen to this podcast in the morning, afternoon, or evening, we really appreciate you guys for checking out the 4-Man Rush podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to any of our podcast platforms so you can get that notification when we drop another podcast. And be on the lookout. If you haven't dropped by our website, it's www.the4manrush.com. I know Norris put out a good write-up recently about, I think it's about the whole quarterback situation and stuff, man. So, yeah, we really appreciate you guys, man. Straight up. You gotta stay safe out there. This COVID situation is getting worse. Vaccines are going out there, folks, but we still got people. You know, it's already all over the country. So you know, just be safe. Just be safe. All right. Enjoy the Senior Bowl. Thanks for listening to us. You know, pet your dog, wash your cat, and as always, keep pounding. We'll holler at you. Stop biting my
Stop hating on Tom Brady.
Stop hating on Tom. What's wrong with who? I mean, there was a time people couldn't stand Michael Jordan too. Ain't that funny?
Yeah. Kobe too. R.I.P. Isn't it the anniversary day?
Yep.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, man.
No, it was today.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Blessings.
Legend.
Yeah, man.
Man, can't believe that's been a year, bro.
I know.
That should have been a sign that 2020 is gonna be a fucked up year.
Yeah, bro.
Helicopter. I was like, I had to read it twice. Like, what the hell?
I thought it was a gag, man. I thought somebody was just, you know what I'm saying, just being.
Yeah.
TMZ broke the news. I was like, how the hell did they know?
Well, TMZ all over California.
Yeah, that's true.
Where ain't they?
They probably tracked his flight number and everything.
Probably did. That might have been why he was
Real, I'm just taking time to really let it breathe. So baby, just chill. Yeah. She love it. We out in public and we can just chill with my partners, and we can go back to my crib and just chill under covers. And do we call me and you lovers?
The 4-Man Rush is brought to you by the love and respect of and for the Carolina Panthers and Carolina Panther fans everywhere. Keep pounding. The 4-Man Rush is a non-affiliate of the Carolina Panther organization. All thoughts, assessments, and content of this podcast is directly related to the 4-Man Rush exclusively. Thank you.